Welcome to FitCitySA, brought to you by the Mayor's Fitness Council and the City of San Antonio.
On this show, we're proud to feature some of the incredible people and organizations that are helping our city become a healthier, more active community. And today we have a special guest. Bonnie Osterhage is with us. Thanks so much for being here, Bonnie.
Thank you for having me.
Bonnie will be joining FitCitySA as co-host while I'm away on maternity leave.
To get things started, we recently sat down with two other local moms to discuss the unique challenges and opportunities that motherhood brings to living a healthy lifestyle.
My first baby is on her way, so today I wanted to discuss how motherhood changes our lives with regards to physical activity and eating, and how moms can set the tone for health in our families. Today I'm here with Bonnie Osterhage, a local journalist and copywriter for HEB. She's certified through AFA as a group exercise instructor and about to compete in her first triathlon. Bonnie is also a member of the Mayor's Fitness Council and mother to two teenage boys. Colleen Pence is a social media strategist for Creative Noggin, a local marketing and advertising agency. She's also a mom of two and the blogger behind San Antonio Mom Blogs, which focuses on family, food, and travel with an emphasis on the free fun that families can have in the Alamo City. And Jen Tobias Struski is a multimedia journalist, photographer, and producer for SA Live on KSAT 12. She's the mom of a 5-year-old girl and a 2-year-old boy, and while trying to maintain work-life balance, she's always prepping for what's next, including healthy meals, active time with her family, and fitness for herself as well. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. So I am just a month away from having my first, so I'm a little excited, a little nervous, and I would love to talk to you all about how motherhood has changed your self-care and your lifestyle and in regards to health and fitness. But then, as I understand, you're all at different phases of motherhood. Jen, let's start with you. So, what was your routine like before, as far as diet and nutrition and fitness and self-care, and how has that changed?
Well, I had to make a better schedule. I had to make sure that I knew when I was going to be able to work out and then just kind of fit it into my day. And then also about my daughter, I was breastfeeding, so my nutrition, it was funny that I had to add more calories. And then just knowing that I had to take care of myself. It really hit me when I was nursing that I needed to take care of myself. Everything going in is going to her. And I think I've just carried that on. So if anything, I changed maybe for the better. After I had my daughter, I got in better shape.
So it's changed a little bit, but it's actually improved.
Right.
Colleen, so how about you? How has it changed, your lifestyle, and how do you work around the challenges that motherhood brings?
Yeah, well, when before my kids were born, I was a young professional. I was super busy, and honestly, diet and exercise didn't play a huge part of my life. And once I had children, I realized suddenly, oh, I'm like their role model for all of that. Like, they're not going to get that information, from anyone else, at least until they hit preschool. And so suddenly I had to start changing my view on that. And so at the time when my daughter was about 6 months old, I started going to a personal trainer, going to yoga classes, working out regularly. What I have found as my kids have gotten older is I still struggle sometimes with trying to fit that in and make sure I can either get to a gym or take a walk with my dog or get the kids out to a park or something. But it's because I know, they always say that kids it's not what you say, it's what you do. It's what they see, and how you behave. I want them to know that that's a part of our life, and that, staying fit and being healthy, eating well, getting regular exercise is a priority.
And that's such an important point, that modeling is much more powerful than just saying it.
Just talking about it.
So yeah. Bonnie, how about your experience with your teenagers?
With teenagers, it's a little different. When the boys were little, I stayed home, and I've always been active, but I had sort of let a fitness routine fall by the wayside when they were little because I had 2 under 2. So, I was very active, but not in a gym. So I was chasing them everywhere. But as they've gotten older and I've gone back to work full time, I find the challenge was, I love to be physically fit. I love to be active and exercise. And so finding the time to do that while raising 2 teenage boys and working full time has been interesting. So some mornings it means I get up at 4.
My advice would be just remember that you don't need to be perfect. Kids are resilient. Babies are especially resilient. There's not a lot you can do to mess things up, and you learn as you go.
You're only gonna make me cry. It's the hormones. So sweet. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing your experience and your advice, and it's so nice having you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We all know that tobacco has a negative impact on our health, but sometimes it requires that extra nudge to kick the habit. Trinity University here in San Antonio is taking a bold step and is making their campus completely tobacco-free. Let's take a look.
Our campus went tobacco-free on August 1st, 2017, this summer, and it was a pretty lengthy process. It took us about 4 years to get from development of the policy all the way to implementation. So part of that process has mostly been educational, just filling in everyone on campus, whether it's students, staff, faculty, or even our visitors or our contractors or our vendors, just keeping them informed of what the policy will involve. And we're letting people know that they don't necessarily have to quit smoking or whatever tobacco product they're using. However, we are just informing everyone of the health risks associated with tobacco and letting people know we have several resources available, whether online or communicating through a lot of our publications on campus, to let them know if they're interested in quitting tobacco, we can help them with that.
If you've got somebody who's smoking, honestly, it breaks my heart. It has in the past. I've been here for 30 years. When I walk across campus and I see a group of students smoking, because I know how addictive it is, right? How can we be an institution of higher education and let our students do that to themselves? We can't. It's just not okay.
We know that among young people, 90% of them who smoke started before the age of 18. And adult smokers, 99% of them started before the age of 26. And so if we can reach our students before they even start smoking, we can prevent the smoking-related disease and death that occurs as they get older.
I'm in favor of the tobacco-free policy. Personally, I think it's a relief to know that the university cares about its students and about our health. I think it's great to have the option to walk around on campus and be free from smoke and be able to lead healthy lives. Personally, I have asthma, I have a sensitivity to smoke, and so for me, smoke is not something I want to be exposed to while I'm at school, so I think the ban is certainly a benefit.
Trinity is a wonderful example of an organization that is influencing change in people's lives in the community.
I agree. What a great example of community leadership. Next up, we're excited to highlight a long-standing group in the San Antonio area focused on mountain biking. S.T.O.R.M, or the South Texas Off-Road Mountain Bikers, began with just a handful of off-road biking enthusiasts and has grown to more than 2,500 members on their Facebook page.
We went out to O.P. Schnabel Park to check out their weekly Thursday evening group ride. Take a look. So South Texas Off-Road Mountain Bikers is the leading mountain bike advocacy group for San Antonio and the surrounding areas. We have group rides and we put on races as well. Every Thursday we have a group ride that happens at either O.P. Schnabel Park or McAllister Park. Kind of gauge people's skill level and speed and start breaking out into ABC groups as needed.
And it's a no-drop ride, so we don't leave anybody behind. All skill levels are welcome.
It's great to ride with a group like S.T.O.R.M because you get to meet new people. It's fun. You know, it's kind of like motocross, except you are the motor.
It's just a way to get out and get active. Trying to get more people on bikes, trying to educate people on bikes, bike safety, keeping an eye out for us, not even just on the trails, but we are also out on the road. It's a fun activity.
We advocate for trail access. We maintain and build trails in and around the San Antonio area.
We have a memorandum of understanding with the city, and that MOU allows us to maintain the trails for all trail users, not just mountain bikers. And we also are allowed to build new trails.
The natural surface trails are something that a lot of people in San Antonio and the surrounding areas aren't familiar with. 100 miles of trail. We've got O.P. Schnabel Park, Leon Creek, Salado Creek Greenway, McAllister Park, and there are all kinds of places you can get away from the hustle and bustle of the city even within the city. You can go to Almost Basin Park and you don't even know you're in the middle of San Antonio. Cycling is great. I advocate for cycling in general, but off-road cycling helps me get away from all of the noise that the day brings, you know, phones, kids, work. It really mellows me out from the stress of the day. Joining one of these group rides, you get to learn the routes that work best for your skill level and your speed. Checking our website out will give you information about when to join a ride.
We host a kids ride every month, the first Saturday of the month, to get kids under 18 out onto the trails and help improve their skills. There's a women's focus group who provides skills clinics and have women's rides.
People tend to think of mountain bikers as older males. We have a large budding female community in San Antonio, and we also put on a monthly kids ride. And so these are groups that people don't tend to associate with mountain biking, but they're really growing and blossoming in San Antonio.
Now that looks like a lot of fun.
It really does. S.T.O.R.M provides support for people just starting out in off-road biking and is also a great community for experienced riders who want to hit the trails.
And be on the lookout in our future episodes of FitCitySA as we'll check back in with this group to learn more about their monthly children's ride at McAllister Park and show how they're also great stewards on the trails. If you are interested in learning more, visit storm-web.org.
That's it for this episode. Be sure to visit FitCitySA.com to learn more about all the fun ways to keep you and your family healthy and active in San Antonio.
And please visit FitCitySA on Facebook and Instagram to stay in touch.
Until next time, here are some upcoming events that you won't want to miss.